Hi there, warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining the live chat. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes. Let me welcome the participants. Then a short live chat, a brief live chat. Um in coming hours, a high level meeting is going to take place, which could have regional consequences. Let me welcome the participants. No nickname joined. Welcome. No nickname. Watching for years. I confirmed that yesterday from No Nickname. Sammy S here. Third name is, I think, in Amharic or Tigrinya. Says hi. Ethio Mechanic joined too. Mikhail here. Annabelle says, whoever makes final move, we won't back down. Let's see. Ephraim Tesfaye here. A joined too. Simon Tesfaye. LM joined too. LM is a member. LM Gizao, special welcome to you, LM. Hope you're doing fine. Kibriya Kidane. By the way, if you want to be a member, you can click the link given in description section of the live chat or videos. EE here. Hassan Abdullahi. Lucy Rock joined too. I think Lucy was a member, if I'm not wrong. Lucy, you were a member. You are no more a member. What happened? Shafo joined too. Special welcome to you, Shafo. Shafo has been part of almost all live chats. Very participative he is, and a member too. Abdi Hassan here. Gita Huntedla. Liul Segasigai. Saman Tisfai says high level meeting is between Egyptian and other leaders. Alim says Trump is on Egypt's side with the Israeli conflict. Egypt will take opportunity because they are more valuable to the US. Interesting analysis. Ethio Mechanic has been watching me for the last 4 years. But by the way, most of the viewers, Ethio Mechanic, are with me. They've been with me for 4 years now. That shows that we managed to keep going and we trust each other. And if I analyze the traffic of subscribers and non-subscribers, 60 to 70% of viewership comes from subscribers. So people watch My Vision News regularly. And they've been watching My Vision News for 4 years now. Abdi Hassan here, Sadiko Abdul Majid, Abdullah Harsi, Masfin K, Mitiko Dema. Mitiko joined after some time. How are you, Mitiko? Tiklamare Masfao. Welcome. Just one clarification or one point I want to share with you. Some viewers contacted me in the last few weeks, one on WhatsApp and others through Gmail. They said, Sajid, we are in Tigray. Should we leave Tigray? Because you are saying that situation is alarming. It's escalating fast. A friend has some businesses in Makale. He was worried for his business and he wanted to seek my advice about more investments in Makale. He said, what should I do? Should I invest in Makale in Tigray or not? Well, for all the viewers who want to know my assessment of situation in Tigray, firstly, I update you almost on daily basis. So I would request you to keep watching me. Secondly, you can have my contact number too. Members can contact me anytime. I always encourage them to stay in touch with me by phone as well. They have my number too. So anytime they can contact me. Uh, Others, even who are not members, they can also stay in touch. So I will warn you once I think that situation is now about to erupt, firstly. Secondly, Tigray is in need of financial support. It's in need of investment. It's in need of money from abroad. I cannot say that don't invest in Tigray because that would be devastating for the people of Tigray. Any problem with audio? LM is complaining. A says it's working fine. LM, it's on your side, issue on your side. So I cannot say that people should not invest in Tigray. That won't be good for the people of Tigray. But I am sharing my assessment with you that situation is alarming. No de-escalation so far. Volkai turning into a flashpoint. People should be careful. They should not flee Tigray. They should be careful. They should be alert. They should be ready. This is what I can say. But I am keeping a close eye on everything and sharing whatever I'm learning from there. Problem is that no one is speaking the truth. All are preaching peace, but privately they're preparing for war. Ideally, they want to achieve their objectives without war. But since their positions are irreconcilable, that is why confrontation could happen. So I would only request you to keep your calm and be ready. But don't just start selling everything for cheap and start leaving Tigray abruptly. That won't be good for you, for Tigray's economy, for the people of Tigray. I'll try to warn you, like I warned during the war. I kept on updating you about where war was heading. Maybe war will be averted because I think that at this point of time, federal government does not want a war to happen. It is trying to avert a war. It does not mean that Abiy loves peace, but this is not the right time for Abiy for a war. That is why Abiy is trying to prevent this war from starting. Anyway, back to this video. Egypt preparing to make some final moves, which could have serious consequences for Ethiopia, for the Horn of Africa. Annabelle says no one will touch Tigrayan investment. Well, Annabelle, problem is that now Tigrayans are split. I mean, if they start fighting each other, what will happen? Secondly, now configuration is changing. Eritrea on Tigray side, EPF on federal government side. So it's a very complicated situation. Tikle Mariam says, for me, you are the source of information around us. Well, I try to be of any help if I can. If Egypt takes Palestinians, do you think the US will accommodate them in the GERD? I don't think Egypt will ever agree to taking Palestinians. Egypt won't agree to that. I watch you for a long time, but sorry, you are always against Ethiopian government. No, I'm not against anyone. I am not against anyone. People accuse me of being against Isas, Afwerki, against Eritrean government. Others say I'm against TPLF. Some say I'm against Egypt. So what should I do? But I think when there are problems, there are conflicts, people in power are more to blame. If they are enjoying power, it means they are responsible for solving problems too. If people are dying of hunger, who is responsible? Obviously, the government. If people are fleeing the country, dying on their way to Middle East, who is responsible? The government. If war erupts, who is responsible? The government, obviously. Problem is that governments, rulers are not held accountable. This culture is missing in Africa, in Asia, in several other countries because democracy in its true form does not exist here. Anyway, viewers, let me start. Let me speak for a few minutes, uh, just less than 10 minutes, and then your questions and comments. Robel says, we have a timely, urgent topic today. Yes, Robel, Yunus Mesfin is talking about anti-drones. But let me just speak on the topic, then we'll talk about drones. Minium says, final move. You mean Egypt has no more cards to play anymore? I'll address it. Elijah joined to welcome Elijah. Elijah is one of those viewers who are very knowledgeable, who know what they talk about. And he wrote some articles too for News Addis. He has great command of the topic he talks about. Okay, let me start, viewers. Firstly, in coming hours, a key meeting is going to start. Key meeting between two leaders. Egyptian President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi is going to meet with the President of Somalia, Hassan Sheikh. Uh, the meeting is significant, and what we are hearing from Egypt is that Egypt is now working on disrupting the inauguration of GERD. That is why emergency meetings are being held, and rhetoric of war is on display from Egyptian side. Egyptian journalists, Egyptian writers, they are saying that if striking the dam can solve the issue, Egypt should not hesitate. Egypt uh, is much more important for the US than Ethiopia because it's a very relevant player. It shares border with Gaza, very close to Israel, and Egypt will always be important for the US. US is the main backer of Israel. Ethiopia is also important, but I think Egyptian importance is more than that of Ethiopia. Trump government is known for taking strong positions, and Trump, in some of his tweets, mentioned his efforts in the past to prevent a war between Egypt and Ethiopia over GERD, and Trump implied as if building of GERD was not right. Egypt is hoping to mobilize international community and form a regional alliance. which it has already formed, it is hoping to activate this alliance to ignite a conflict against Ethiopia. It's a big statement which I'm giving, but this is what the situation is, that very soon, I'm saying perhaps in coming days, you could see uh, provocative gestures from Sudan, from Eritrea, from Egypt. Why? Welcome, peace and love. You're not late. We're talking about Egyptian final move, about GERD. Abiy, I think, should not have disclosed his plan of inaugurating GERD in September. There was no need for that. Why was there need for announcing the exact date or month of inauguration of GERD? Sometimes he speaks too much. It's like when Iran supplied drones to Ethiopian government in 2021. He just went to the far region of Ethiopia, and from Samra he posted some pictures showing Iranian Voyager 6 drones in the background. There was no need. I mean, he was exposing his military capabilities. So I think again, Abiy then he made the mistake of access to sea issue. He made some blunders, I think. Now he's in advance announcing the date of, while he knows very well that no one in the region is supportive of this project. Eritrea opposing it. Eritrea, Isaac from day one has been opposing GERD. Sudan opposing it from day one. Egypt opposing it from day one. Somalia has not taken a clear position in support of GERD. Kenya does not oppose GERD because it's buying electricity, I think, from Ethiopia. So majority of neighbors does not support GERD. Ethiopian PM should have been discreet about GERD. He announced the inauguration date. It has activated Egypt. Egypt now trying to activate its regional alliance, which it formed with Eritrea and Somalia. And Ethiopia wanted to implement MOU with Somaliland. Who came to the rescue of Somalia? Egypt and Eritrea. They supported Somalia, and then Ethiopia had to back off. Now, Egypt wants support from Somalia, from Eritrea, asking them to stand on Egyptian side. Will Eritrea and Somalia support Egypt now? That remains to be seen, but this is what Egypt wants. Meanwhile, Al-Burhan is already on Egyptian side. Al-Burhan is not happy with Abiy's government. Al-Burhan is close to Safawi. So the same alliance which we saw during Ethiopian efforts to implement MOU with Somaliland is now being reactivated. Will Somalia join this alliance or not? Let's see. Somalia is facing lots of internal problems. Perhaps it might not be in a position to publicly support this alliance. So I see July and August as very critical months. Ideally, Egypt would like a war to erupt in July or August to undermine the inauguration of GERD. Ethiopia, that's what I'm saying, that Ethiopian government wants to avert a war. At this point of time, when I'm talking now, July, August, June last month, Ethiopian government does not want war now. They are keeping themselves ready. It's not that they don't want war in future too, but they want war when they think war should happen. Now they don't want any war. But Egypt wants a conflict now in July, in August. Eritrea wants a conflict now in July, August. Why? Because Eritrea has decided to remove Abiy, and it does not want to give Abiy time to fire the first shot. And secondly, if Abiy gets himself re-elected for the next term, perhaps after that it will be difficult to remove Abiy. So both Eritrea and Egypt, they want conflict in July or August. And both are using a proxy, uh, TPLF. TPLF ready to be used as proxy because it has its own reservations and complaints against the federal government. It wants its status back. It wants Volkayet back. Federal government not ready. Rowell says rainy season is part of the equation too. Yeah, rainy season is part of the equation too. That's what I'm talking about. That is I'm mentioning 2 months, July, August, maybe September too. So people need to be careful about Egyptian moves too, not just Eritrean moves, not just TPLF moves too. When I say Ethiopian PM does not want war now, it does not mean that Abiy wants peace. No, Abiy wants to keep Tigray divided. He wants to keep Amhara region divided. Timing does not suit Abiy. Maybe at a later time, Abiy would like this war to start. Lobak Dongolo says, Salam Sajid, Abiy Ahmed's sale by date is up. 2025 will be his undoing. Well, Lobak, this is what I'm saying, that those who oppose Abiy, they say this is the time to remove him. He should not be allowed to enter 2026 as the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. If he does, then he is here to rule for maybe decades. That is what I'm saying. This rainy season is crucial. Aman Voshe joined to welcome Aman. Nigu says, Sajid, are you confirming war in advance of the decision of the government? Governments won't tell you that we're going to start a war. Did PM Abiy tell you in 2021 that he was going to wage war on Tigray? Did TPLF tell you that back then? No one said that they were going to fight. And then it happened. Simon Desfy says, Sajid, how many of your viewers live in East Africa? Well, tens of thousands, obviously. But viewership is from across the world, from Europe, from North America, from the US, from Canada, from Europe, from Asia to from Middle East. Yunus is asking what anti-drones. Does Eritrea uh, do you think Eritrea or Tigray have anti-drones? Well, the types of drones which Ethiopia has, I think it will be difficult to counter these drones. TB2s, Winglongs are not easy to be shot down. Tigray has bought some anti-drone guns, which are jammers basically, handheld jammers. Eritrea might be in possession of such jammers, but I am not aware of Eritrea or Tigray being in possession of very effective and highly modern anti-drone weapons. Thank you, Shafo, for buying the super chat sticker. Ephraim says, Sajid, when you say Eritrea wants war to start, does this mean Eritrea want to start war by itself? No, through TPL. Shafo says, Ethiopia does not want war now because it is incurring heavy losses in the Amhara region. Well, conflict is Amhara could be one of the reasons, but there are other reasons too. I think Ethiopia would like clear skies. It would like clear skies for its air force to be in a position to have air superiority uh, during war. Rainy season perhaps is not best suited for Ethiopian Air Force. Ethiopia does have air superiority. I mean, if you compare Ethiopia and Eritrea, Ethiopian forces and Tigray forces, only difference, or the main difference is Ethiopian air power. Ethiopian drones, Kinjis, TB2s, Winglongs, and their Su, Stihois. So this advantage cannot be undone, but it can be countered a little in rainy season, I think. Haley joined to say the Sfao here, Merkinitos. M. Said joined to Annabelle says, you were saying a Kinji was not necessary for us. Do you see why we need it? Z Wisdom bought a super chat sticker. Thank you, Z Wisdom. He says, thank you for your relentless information, Sajid. Do you think Egypt will help Eritrea and TPLF to wage and continue war against Ethiopia? Definitely. This is what I'm saying, that Egypt wants it to happen now, before September. Well, Annabelle was asking question about, Annabelle was commenting about Akinji. I said yes, that Ethiopia did not need Akinji. And back then, Ethiopia did not need Akinji. Even without Akinji, I think Ethiopia has superior air force if you compare it with Eritrea. But if you compare Ethiopia and Egypt, even with Akinji, I think Egyptian Air Force is much better Air Force. You should have a look at the list of air machines which Egyptian Air Force has. Egypt has a very unique arsenal of air machines in Africa, I think. They have Rafale, they have Sukhoi too. They have Chinese jets too. They have F-16 too. So it's very unique for an African country to have modern fighter jets and bombers made in Europe, made in America, made in Russia, made in China, if I'm not wrong. Equal Justice bought a super chat sticker. Thank you, Equal Justice. Haley says, you were wrong in the past and you were wrong again. I told you that Ethiopia will prevail and we will prevail again. You will see, I am going to tell you, I told you so. Well, we are not talking about who will prevail or not. This is not what today's topic is. Try to understand. I am just sharing my analysis with you. Sammy says Egypt has Mirage, F-16, Sukhoi, MiG, and they're developing drones too. I think they struck a deal with Turkey to buy Turkish drones too. So on paper, I think Egyptian Air Force is more equipped than Ethiopian Air Force. Thank you, Biniam, for buying the super chat sticker. Biniam says, we'll hear a lot of news about annexation before the end of 2025. Yeah, 2025 is a very dangerous year, by the way, for the Horn of Africa. 2024 was also full of developments. There was uncertainty. Ethiopia and Somalia were on the verge of a war, but somehow they averted a war. I am seeing 2025 as more dangerous than 2024. Casa says, do you think it's wise for Egypt to attack the dam at this point of time? Well, they're not planning to bomb the dam. That would be suicidal, perhaps. And I think it won't be perhaps possible. That could lead to huge flooding. But if a war erupts in Ethiopia, in Western Tigray, Humera Volkai, Sagade, and Fano, Tigray fighters and Eritrean forces, they quickly marched through Amhara towards BG. Uh, then Egypt can have some cards to play about how to use the dam. It cannot destroy the dam. I don't think it is planning to bomb the dam, but it wants an agreement with Ethiopia, a legally binding agreement. This government in place is not ready to sign this type of agreement. If this government is toppled, maybe a new government will agree to sign a legally binding agreement with Egypt. This is what Egypt wants. It's not planning to bomb the dam. Important question from Macrobian said, do you believe Ethiopia can fight a protracted war on multiple fronts with its current internal and economic instability? Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. That is why Abiy is trying to prevent this war and fight it little later. Sammy says Egypt might bomb the power generation. Yeah, if they bomb, they won't actually bomb the entire GERD. They might hit some areas in periphery or some sites close to the dam just to send a message. With 37 minutes have passed, I think we should end the live chat because tomorrow mobile networks might be suspended in Pakistan. If the mobile networks are suspended, I won't be able to make videos. I'll try to find a way to stay in touch with you. Do contact me through my Gmail so that if I receive information, I'll be able to make videos quickly and maybe upload as well. Because tomorrow, religious processions will be held here, and that is why mobile networks are jammed, they are suspended. So we might not have mobile service tomorrow. But I'll try to find a way to stay in touch with you. Thanks for watching, viewers. It is always good to talk to you in live chats. We have one live chat left in this week, and that is tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow if mobile networks are not suspended. We'll see that tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed. Bye bye.